Human, why does this child call you father? The alien woman saw family for the first time. The morning sun broke gently over the valley, casting warm golden light across the hills and trees. In a small cottage by the river, a man moved about the kitchen, preparing a simple meal. His name was Elias, a former scout and soldier from the border conflicts between humans and alien colonies. Those days were long behind him. Now, he raised a child alone. The little girl with bright eyes and hair like sunlight ran into the room and hugged his leg. "Father," she said, laughing, "are we going to the river today?" "Yes, Mara," he smiled, brushing her hair back gently just after breakfast. Their peaceful life had been quiet for years, but that peace would change on the day the stranger came from the woods. She emerged slowly, carefully. Her skin was pale, silver, her eyes glowing with pale violet. She wore armor cracked and scorched, and her breathing was strained. Elias was wary but not cruel. He called to her, and she fell into his arms unconscious. When she awoke, she was inside the cottage, her wounds bandaged, her weapons gone. "You are safe here," he said calmly. "You were hurt near the old borderline." She watched him closely with suspicion. "You are human, and you saved me." "Why?" "Because I have a child, and I'd hoped someone would do the same for her." The woman said nothing, only nodded once. Her name was Seria, a reconnaissance officer from the Lutheri tribes. She had been ambushed on her way back from a mission and fled for days across the forests. She accepted his hospitality cautiously. He offered food and space by the fire, and she rested for a time. Then she saw the child. Mara came into the room one evening with flowers in her hands. She looked up at Seria and smiled brightly. "Hello, are you going to stay with us too?" Seria stared. The girl was small, gentle, happy. And when the girl called Elias father, again something in Seria's face shifted. Later, when Mara had gone to sleep, Seria spoke. "That child is not of your blood." "No," Elias answered honestly. "Her parents died during the war. She was barely more than a baby. I found her near the wreckage and raised her as my own." Seria was silent for a long time, and she asked, "Does she know?" Elias nodded. "She does, and she still calls you father." "Yes, because I love her like one, and she loves me." Seria looked away, a strange emotion in her eyes. "I have never known that word, that feeling. In my world, we are born into duty, not into families. We have units, not homes. We are trained, not raised. I do not understand this." "You don't have to understand it," Elias said gently. "You can just feel it." Days passed. Seria's wounds healed, and she began to walk the edge of the woods. She stayed longer than expected. Each morning Mara would wave to her and offer her drawings or wildflowers. Each night she would sit closer to the fire near Elias and listen. One evening she asked, "Why do you live so far from others?" "Because I saw what hatred did to both sides. I didn't want Mara to grow up with that. I wanted her to have peace. And now you have given peace to someone like me too." Seria said quietly. Elias turned to her and replied, "You gave it back to me as well." The next day, while they gathered herbs near the river, Mara took Seria's hand. "You are pretty like the stars," she said. "You can stay with us if you want. You're safe here." Seria's throat tightened, and she had no words. No weapon, no order had ever pierced her heart like that simple, innocent voice. That night, she sat by the fire and watched Elias read to Mara. She asked softly, "Do you ever regret it, raising a child not of your kind?" He looked at her and smiled. "Never. Blood does not make you a parent. Love does. I chose her, and every day I would choose her again." Seria felt something inside her break open. Not pain, something older. Longing, perhaps. Hope. When Elias walked her to the edge of the forest days, later she said, "I should return to my people. They will not understand. But I do. I see now what family means." He nodded. "You'll always have a place here, if you ever need it." She hesitated and leaned close and whispered, "Thank you for showing me what life could be." Weeks passed, then months. Elias and Mara continued their simple life, until one spring morning, as they planted seeds in the garden, a shadow crossed the field. Seria stood there, her armor gone, dressed simply and holding something in her arms. It was a seedling and a small worn travel pack. Elias rose slowly. Mara shouted her name with joy and ran to her. Seria caught her and held her tightly. Then she looked at Elias. "May I stay, not as a guest, but as one of you, as a part of this?" Elias stepped forward, eyes warm. "You're already a part of this." And she smiled, truly smiled. For the first time in her life, she understood. Not war, not duty, but love and family.